Good morning, Brian.
Morning, Leslie.
Lovely to have you on the show, Brian. How are things?
Morning, Leslie.
It's Mark, by the way.
Just to say, look, there's another example that last Saturday I went down to the Melton fish bar, and when I got down there, I went in my pocket and I thought, I forgot my bloody mask. And I had to go home and get it, because I wouldn't have gone in the chip shop without it on.
So you always wear your mask when you can, do you?
Well, of course you do. You got to do the right thing, ain't you? Like that bloke who went in the, I don't know, what, is he in a shop or was he in,
there was
Boris's father?
Boris's dad, Stanley, went into a shop without a mask on, apparently.
That's right. Well, you aren't going to tell me if he go in the shop, he's going to probably have his wallet on him, isn't he?
Yep.
Well, if he can take his wallet in there, he's just got to get in the habit of, if you take your wallet, you take your mask, don't you?
Well, that's very good advice, Brian. Very good advice.
That's right, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
That is right. That is right.
Is.
It's going to be mucky this weekend, boy.
It's going to be very, very windy.
The girl Rosemary, she's put all the gnomes away for the year. She said, I'm putting them out of the way because the wind's going to be a gusting. So she said, I'm going to put them all away. And I said, that's a very wise thing, my love. She had a little win on the lottery last week.
Did she? Is she rich?
Last week, she did win a little amount, I have to say. I ain't going to tell you how much, but she did have a little win. So she went down to Waitrose on Sunday and got some bits and pieces. You know, she bought me a bottle of port, Leslie.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
I don't normally have that sort of, port, because that's quite pricey, isn't it?
Yes.
And she got me a nice bottle, that's good quality, and I sat there and I must have had half a bottle, I suppose, on a Sunday night. And I woke up in a crawl. I had a skull-ache on Monday.
Yeah, I bet you did. Yeah, I bet you did.
You get a skull-ache if you have too much with it. But that's nice, because she got one of them camel bake things that you put in the oven, cheesy things in the little
camembert. Camembert.
Camel bake things and a bit of crusty bread. And Corey said, I scoffed that into me. That was lovely with a little drop of port. But I did have a skull-ache on Monday morning, I don't mind saying.
Yeah, camembert.
That's right, yes.
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 We've heard this week that the Suffolk show's off next year.
I know. That's another thing. And what a shame, because we were planning, because Mother hadn't been for years, you see, because she turned 100. I say, I'll take you, because we couldn't go, could we? Because they cancelled it, because of this whole bug thing.
Yes.
So next year, I said, I will take you next year, because I ain't going to be able to do that now, am I?
No.
So I ain't told her yet, but, she'll be disappointed. That's just, I don't know. I said, that's just a shame, because that's probably going to be the first many things to be cancelled, innit?
Yeah.
And, all he's got these things to look forward. We thought we got these things to look forward to once this whole virus thing is out of the way. And because I don't know how it's going to end up. Here's another thing, right, Leslie?
Mark.
Answer me this, if you will. They keep saying that the figure's going up, don't they?
Yes.
You know what I mean? They say every day
yes.
That seemed to have jumped a lot, don't it?
Yes, it has in the last few days, yes.
Yeah, well, is that right? Because I look at it like this, right? When we were all in lockdown,
yep.
the figures, they were high, I have to say, but they weren't nowhere near what they are now, were they?
No, that's right.
No? So they're now testing more people, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So the figures are going to be higher, aren't they?
If we're testing more people, then they are likely to be more higher. You're right, Brian.
So what was all the fuss about? Does that mean that we didn't have any more cases when we were in lockdown, but we only got more cases now because we're testing more people?
Well, I'll tell you what, if only Matt Hancock, the West Suffolk MP and Health Secretary, would come on this show, you could ask him those questions, but he's a bit reluctant to join me for some reason at the moment.
Well, I can't get my head around it because they keep saying all this stuff, and I do know it's serious.
Yes.
But people are getting worried about it, aren't they? Because, they think, are we going to be in another lockdown? They're locking down half the country. And, we're all right. In Suffolk, we're doing all right, aren't we, boy? blast. Would you want to be anywhere else right now with this whole bug thing?
Well, our rate is very low here, but we've still got to be careful, say the experts.
Well, I ain't saying we ain't got to be careful. What I'm saying, Leslie, is that the figures that they keep pulling out, I don't know if they are accurate, because they are obviously, they're sticking these things up people more noses now, aren't they? Because they weren't doing many to start with. And apparently, I was speaking to Neil on the corner.
Yes.
He's had one of these things up the nose. He reckoned they ruddy hurt.
Oh, what, the swab up the nose?
He had nosebleed after. Yeah, Neil on the corner, the bloke with the pigeons. He said he had one up the nose.
Blimey.
And he say, and that blade after.
Gosh, I've seen
that ruddy hurt, Brian.
I've seen them shove it up a fair way when I've seen them doing it.
Yeah, I know. I don't fancy having that done, would you?
Well, if we have to have it done, Brian, we're going to have it done. We have to be brave, be strong. Be brave and strong.
Tell you what we were watching last night, Leslie? We sat there watching The Chase.
Oh, yes. Do you like The Chase?
Your mother's got quite into that. She likes sitting there while I'm sorting tea out and watching The Chase. Because we watch that now before we watch Look East, you see.
Yes.
So it's important to watch Look East, see what what's going on.
Yes.
And the weather. And but she was saying on there, she said, come and look at this, Brian. And there was this thick prat on there, and I think he got sort of £2,000 when he's asking the questions.
Yes.
And Bradley
Walsh.
Bradley Walsh. He say you're a better player than that. He say. I thought, well, mother, how can he say that to him if he's only got £2,000? How can he say he's a better player? Why he got 7,000 if he's that ruddy good? And mother say you're right, Brian. But we quite like watching that because we like that sarcastic woman on there.
Oh yes.
You know the one. She looked like a schoolmistress.
Yes. I can't remember her name now.
No,
Anne Hegarty.
She's nasty. That make me laugh when she start. That really do.
Just before you go, how's your neighbour Marcus?
Yes, he's back because he took his missus
on a boat
away on a boat last weekend, and they ended up in Ely.
Ely?
I've never ever been to Ely. Have you?
Once.
Yeah, well, he reckoned that was windy. He said, but they had a nice time, and he said there's lots of charity shops there because she liked going round them.
Yes.
And I looked out on the line when she come back, and she had her finest gusset huggers out there. So I reckon they had a dirty weekend. She had a bit of lingerie on there, and so I reckon they had nice. He reckoned they ate out every night.
Really?
Yeah, I expect I'd know how. I expect she sat on the backside and let him do all the cooking. You see, and he took her out, and apparently they ate out every night. I don't know where they get the money from, Leslie.
Well, who knows? Who knows? Well, look, Brian, we're going to have to leave it there. But a
couple of Yorkie bars for looking after the cat, anyway.
Well, that's good. I know how much you like those. Keep them away from Rosie's bras, won't you? Brian, thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Yes, cheerio together.
Bye-bye now. That's Brian in Melton.